Welcome. I've had a request for this Cremation of Sam McGee. And I have the honor of reading it to you from a 116-year-old book, Songs of a Sourdough, Robert W. Service. This was copyrighted in 1913 and given to my grandfather, my mother's father, Christmas of 1914. So, believe it or not, this is even older than I am. So this is going out to Megan, TJ, and Lauren. The Cremation of Sam McGee. There are strange things done in the midnight sun by the men who moil for gold. Their Arctic trails have their secret tales that would make your blood run cold. The Northern Lights, they've seen queer sights, but the queerest they ever did see was the night on the marge of Lake LaBarge when I cremated Sam McGee. Now, Sam McGee was from Tennessee, where the cotton blooms and grows. Why he left his home in the South to roam around the pole, God only knows. He was always cold, but that land of gold seemed to hold him like a spell. So he'd often say in his homesick way, I'd sooner live in hell. On Christmas Day, we were mushing our way over the Dawson Trail. Talk of your cold? Through parka's fold, it stabbed like a driven nail. If our eyes we'd close, then the lashes froze. Sometimes you couldn't see. It wasn't much fun, but the only one to whimper was Sam McGee. And that very night, as we lay packed tight in our robes beneath the snow, and the dogs were fed, and the stars o'erhead were dancing heel and toe, he turned to me and, Cap, says he, I'll turn in this trip, I guess. And if I do, I'm asking that you won't refuse my last request. Well, he seemed so low that I couldn't say no. Then he says with a sort of a moan, It's this cursed cold, and it's got right hold till I'm chilled clean through to the bone. Yet, 'tain't being dead. It's my awful dread of the icy grave that pains. So, I want you to swear that foul or fair, you'll cremate these last remains. A pal's last need is a thing to heed, so I swore I would not fail. And we started on at the break of dawn. God, he looked ghastly pale. He crouched on the sleigh and he raved all day of his home in Tennessee. Before nightfall, a corpse was all that was left of Sam McGee. There wasn't a breath in that land of death as I hurried horror-driven, with a corpse half hid that I couldn't get rid because of a promise given. It was lashed to the sleigh, and it seemed to say, You may tax your brawn and brains, but you promised true, and it's up to you to cremate these last remains. Now, a promise made is a debt unpaid, and the trail, it has its own stern code. In the days to come, though my lips were numb, and my heart, how I cursed that load. In the long, long night, by the lone firelight, while the huskies round in a ring scowled out their woes to the homeless snows. Oh God, how I loathed that thing. And every day that quiet clay seemed to heavier and heavier grow. And on I went, though the dogs were spent and the grub was getting low. The trail was bad, and I felt half mad, but I swore I would not give in. I'd often sing to that hateful thing, and it hearkened with a grin. Till I came to the marge of Lake LaBarge, and a derelict there lay. It was stuck in the ice, and I saw in a trice it was called the Alice May. I looked at it, and I thought a bit. And I looked at my frozen chum. Here, said I, with a sudden cry, is my crematorium. Some planks I tore from the cabin floor, and I lit the fuel boiler fire. Some coal I found that was lying around, and I heaped the fuel higher. The flames just soared, and the furnace roared, such a blaze you seldom see. And I burrowed a hole in that glowing coal, and I stuffed in Sam McGee. Then I made a hike, for I didn't like to hear 'em sizzle so. And the heavens scowled, and the huskies howled, and the winds began to blow. It was icy cold, but the hot sweat rolled down my cheeks, and I don't know why. And the greasy smoke in an inky cloak went streaking down the sky. I do not know how long in the snow I wrestled with grisly fear, but the stars came out and they danced about ere again I ventured near. I was sick with dread, but I bravely said, I'll just take a peep inside. I guess he's cooked, and it's time I looked. Then the door I opened wide. And there sat Sam, looking cool and calm in the heart of that furnace roar. And he wore a smile you could see for a mile. And he said, please, close that door. It's fine in here, but I greatly fear you'll let in the cold and storm. Since I left Plum Tree down in Tennessee, it's the first time I've been warm. There are strange things done in the midnight sun by the men who moil for gold. Their Arctic trails have their secret tales that would make your blood run cold. The Northern Lights have seen queer sights, but the queerest they ever did see was the night on the marge of Lake Labarge when I cremated Sam McGee.